Michael Tsarion and I have been trying to connect for a couple of years now, and I was thrilled that our meeting finally took place. Having followed his work on Architects of Control in my radio show, we decided to spend our time together to talk about his newest books, The Irish Origins of Civilization. Michael contends that history, as it's been told, has omitted a significant series of proofs that not only did the highly advanced Egyptian civilization move to the west, to Britain, but prior to that, the ancient Druids moved to Egypt, taking their language, arts, philosophy, and wisdom with them. Their disappearance has caused cataclysmic events to occur on this planet, according to Michael.
Anyone watching this who is absolutely convinced that there is a world architecture of control, right, and is lamenting it and looking to understand why it arose, must understand this next point they must listen with all their mind to this next point. None of that architecture of tyranny, none of the genocidal psychopathy, or any of that poison that the Black Lodge has created down through the centuries could exist. None of it. If the original people that I address, namely the Magi, the Elders, the Druids, existed. This brings up 2 points. One is that all these lodges, Masonic lodges, Rosicrucian lodges, and all the rest of it, all the elites today, everything they have is a cannibalization and a plagiarization of those elders. That's number one. And two, had those elders still been allowed to exist, the other could not exist. Yes. Because that school of light, that college of light, was vigilant to this pestilence. They had rites, they had shamanic rites, they had the Wicca, right? They had the whole shamanic matrix to make sure that a certain child ain't going anywhere if they're toxic. To the point that they'd even, as we know, leave them out to die. That's been overly exaggerated, of course, but the idea was, okay, if nature has created some rotten fruit grows on a tree, it's quite natural to let that rotten fruit fall and die and perish so it doesn't destroy the whole crop or whatever. And these druids, these elders, these matriarchs understood that this is also a law. There is a catabolic force that you must honor also. And therefore, by not letting the scum rise to the top, as these fraternities now not only permit but promote, right? They did the opposite. The Druidic colleges did the opposite. They made sure that the scum stayed cleaning the floors and doing whatever they needed to do, and that only the pure rose to the top. So when these people bash Plato and bash the philosopher kings, you know, they're coming from a very, very limited state of understanding. The original principle of Plato and his philosopher kings was not totalitarian control, as Fabian left-wing people in the universities are trying to tell you that. Why don't we ask who's teaching Plato, you know, if we wanted to get into that. But the point is that none of these Platonic people were pushing any type of totalitarian New World Order. What they were showing you is that if the man who has his inner republic in harmony, he can rule.
This is a rare and up-close interview with one of the great thinkers of our times. For the full-length version of this interview, go to ConsciousMediaNetwork.com.